Welcome. My name is Natasha Sherman, and I am your host. And my guests today are two people who are following their dreams. Very often, you know, as a life coach, I work with people to kind of pursue what they want in life, but very often people get discouraged because they don't know. But here's the thing. It's usually an evolutionary journey. It starts to create itself. So my guests today are two people who are doing that. So first of all, I'd like you to welcome Jacquelyn Quattro, or Jackie. And I'd like to tell my audience a little bit about you. You're a New Jersey mother, housewife, and cosmetics veteran, and you are president and CEO of Jersey Shore Cosmetics. So let me tell you just a little bit about Jersey Shore Cosmetics. It's a family-owned and operated business and founded with a mission to provide the highest quality personal care and beauty products that are safe and free of toxins.
Yes.
So welcome.
Thank you.
My other guest is Tinisee Wreh Buckman. So Tinisee was born in Monrovia, Liberia, and he came to America at the age of 8 as a refugee and relocated to central New Jersey. He started his career in makeup with a well-known prestigious cosmetics brand, hired solely for his charismatic personality. And the rest is history, having played key roles in educating at a number of beauty schools, as well as building a long list of clients. Tinisee is now a beauty consultant for NBC 10 in Philadelphia. He's a makeup artist and creator of Tinisee's Makeup Bar at Blowout Lounge and Color Bar in Hamilton. And in addition to being the creative director and director of sales for Jersey Shore Cosmetics. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So as I said, this journey is never a straight line. I think one of the things that is always impressive to me is how people kind of stay in the game and continue to take actions that then evolve into new actions. So let me ask you a little bit about, because I love cosmetics and I love having Tinisee do my makeup. It's like I feel so pampered and transformed.
Yes.
So there's all this, we'll talk a little bit about the looking good aspect of it, but tell me a little bit about your journey that had you then start a company committed to creating safe but wonderful products.
Okay, so my journey started many years ago. I have a background in high-end designer makeup and skincare. I worked for, let's just say, a little more than 25 years in the industry. And during that time, it was basically a learning or teaching journey. I saw so much wrong with the industry, so many petrochemicals, so many toxins in products that were really beautiful and really very pretty. But when you went underneath and saw the ingredients deck, it really was not very healthy. And I grew up with a very health-conscious upbringing. We grew up on a farm in South Jersey, and everything was organic and natural.
Wow.
Yeah, so being a mom, I'm concerned about toxins in products for my family, for myself, my loved ones, my community. And so thus started my journey to try to make a better product, a better skincare product, better cosmetics, and that's how it began.
You know what I think is really important there is, it's, you know, having grown up, and I grew up the same way. My mother had a big garden and we picked dinner out of the garden,
yes,
you know?
Yes, exactly.
And I think that has an impact because it's very easy to work in the cosmetics industry and have it all be just about the beauty aspect and not even think about the ingredients. Now, people are becoming more conscious, but I don't think we are quite aware enough of just the amount of chemicals in our makeup that then gets absorbed into the skin.
Absolutely.
You know, we know about patches for smoking.
Yes.
Well, how does that work? It gets absorbed through the skin. Well, it's the same
Exactly.
thing. So what are you putting on your face?
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's a really important consideration when formulating skincare and makeup products. And we understand that what goes on the skin goes into your bloodstream, goes into your system. So that's why it's really important that you create products that are healthy and nutritious, basically skin food.
I like that, skin food, yeah.
Basically, because what you're putting on your skin goes inside of you.
Yeah.
So we pay meticulous attention to the ingredient stacks, and it's important to know every ingredient, the definition of every ingredient that goes into the cosmetics.
I want to get back to that because that's very significant. But Tinisee, I want to talk to you. So here you come, a refugee from Liberia, and I'm sure that had a ton of challenges.
It sure did, especially going to public school and then trying to just re-educate myself, and also starting from the beginning, because when I came to the States, all the documents were gone. So I actually had to start in like English as a second language, and which the weirdest thing is, I already was in second grade and starting to, I knew English already.
Right.
So when they put me into the English as a second language, or even like the assisting, classes, I didn't really understand why, because I would actually be like, the kids would cheat off of my work, and so
wow.
and so a lot of difficulties there. And then I found art to be my escape, and
interesting. And then in your bio that I read, it said you always knew that you wanted to do something creative.
Yes.
So clearly you had to, face a lot of challenges to then integrate. And but here you ended up in the business that you now love.
Yes.
And I want to ask you about how important it is to you to have products that, because again, a lot of image consultants and makeup artists have no concern. It's just, if it looks good, it must be good. So what does that mean to you to be working with a product that not only do you love how it looks, but you know that you're doing no harm?
I love that it's the texture, and I love when we're talking about products. Me and Jackie are always like talking about the texture and how it plays on the skin. And I learned so much from Jackie, because working with other brands, I know that there are a lot of chemicals that aren't healthy for the skin, but it looks good. And to work with Jackie and to learn so much about the healthier parts of makeup and skincare, it really opened my eyes to another world that I'm still getting familiar with. And now that I play with it myself, I get so excited because I know that I'm not harming the skin. I know that when a client goes home with their makeup done, and I know they treated their skin, it makes me feel good. It's rewarding.
Of course,
it's very rewarding.
So you were talking about, how what you're learning, and I read this line the other day, which was really great. Expertise is really important, but what happens with a lot of experts is they start living in the answers instead of the questions.
Right.
So they stop learning. And clearly that's not happening for you. You have a lot of expertise. You've worked with a lot of people, a lot of different products, and you're hungry for the next level and the next level. And that's hugely significant for someone sitting in your chair, having you do their makeup, to know that it's not just you doing same old, but you're raising the bar consistently.
Right, and my background, I have no education in makeup or cosmetology.
Right, you started out as a dancer.
Yes, and this is very true. And I honestly, every time I'm learning, and I see my mistakes and I grow from it. So
yeah.
From 11 years of mistakes, I eventually have,
Brilliant, and I love that. I love that. We have to make mistakes in order to learn. If you're not making mistakes, you're not trying hard enough. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, and clearly you have to have seen that. I want to talk to you a little bit about the ingredients, because I think it's important. There's a new awareness about ingredients, and people are much more aware. But I think that a lot of us have kind of become a little resigned in the world of cosmetics, thinking, well, it's just comes with the territory. Yeah. And there are some products out there that have some organic ingredients, and we know that the word natural could mean
many things.
Bug poop, whatever. It could mean anything. It's natural.
Yes.
So it's up to us as consumers to kind of listen for the additional information.
Exactly.
And so when we were talking, you mentioned that you have hired people who formulate your products, but not only do you formulate it with them, you are a researcher, you research everything.
Yes.
So that all the ingredients are designed to not harm you.
Exactly.
And if you are using any synthetic ingredients, and we'll talk a little bit about that,
Yes.
because you have segued into some products that in order to make them really viable and desirable,
Yes.
you've had to use some synthetics, but you researched every synthetic ingredient.
Exactly, with this new color story,
Yes.
the bold color story. Yes, with the new color, the bold color launch that we did recently, some of the colors, in order to get more of a, I guess, an intense color throw, more of a desirable texture than conventional all-natural cosmetics, and also to give a longer shelf life, we've combined 80% natural and 20% FDA approved synthetic ingredients, and I just call them scientific ingredients. And of those, I have to research every last one to make sure it's non-toxic in the amount that we're using. So we admit to now, we've been known for many years, since the beginning, to be 100% natural and organic. Now with the new bold colors, we are 80% natural, 20% scientific. It's more than 80% natural actually with the highlighters, but I just say 80 just to be safe. And I have researched every ingredient that goes into every ingredient's deck to make sure it's not harmful, that it is non-toxic and safe for you. So, and that's very important because there's really no guidelines and like no watchdogs out there.
You could get away with putting just about anything into a cosmetic.
With cosmetics and skincare, there's really not very much regulation for that. So we have to educate the consumer, we have to be very transparent with the consumer, and we have to know what we're talking about and know what we're doing so that we can gain that trust. And when they research their ingredients, I constantly say, read your ingredients, read your packages, read your labels. I invite them to do that. And if you have a question, ask us. We try to be as transparent as we possibly can so that we can gain your trust and you know that we're doing the best that we can for you.
And I think what's really powerful about that is, we all have to become choice makers, and we have to be responsible for our choices. But because there isn't a lot of awareness or focus on the awareness of all these, we've trusted these cosmetics because they've been around for 800 years.
Household names.
Exactly. But what we don't know, is what we've been ingesting and the harm it has done, even in minuscule amounts.
Absolutely.
It's just like, a gajillion years ago, Johnson's baby powder, everybody's flopping that around, and then they're finding that, oops, but we trusted it because it had a trusted name. So I'm not doing this to point fingers, it's just to kind of, point to ourselves and go, wait a minute, I need to be a responsible consumer.
Exactly.
And what is great about your product is that you're telling exactly as it is. And some people will want the choice of, having a different color that requires some synthetic ingredient in it.
Yes.
So, but they know it. You're telling them this.
Yes, I'm telling them. And another reason, there's another very important reason that we'll use synthetics with our colorants is because in order to get that really intense color throw, sometimes a company will use insect parts like beetles and bug wings. They make, if you've seen them in nature, they make beautiful colors, okay? We don't want that in our products, okay? We are cruelty-free, and we don't use animal byproducts in our products. We do use some organic beeswax where no bees were harmed. That's
good to know.
But that's it. And so in order to get those beautiful colors that may be from nature, we'll use synthetics instead of using bugs. So, but we research those synthetic colors and make sure that they're non-toxic and safe to use.
Tell me, you also on your website said eco/reef friendly. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, there's so many products, especially sunscreens, that have such horrible ingredients that they're a detriment to the ocean and the reefs and that sort of thing. So we are reef friendly in that our sunscreens and products are biodegradable, and they break down and they don't harm the reefs, and they're eco-friendly, and they're not a harm to the environment, and that's very important to us.
You know what, again, you know, we were talking about how companies will put products out there knowing that they're harmful and allowing for it.
Yes.
And finding it unfathomable. But I think what's really great is I think more and more people, particularly solopreneurs or new entrepreneurs, who are actually bringing a level of consciousness and intentionality that is going to alter the field, I think.
Yes, I think so. I think the consumer is becoming a lot more educated. They're paying attention. And they understand because we're trying to educate them, and they really are paying attention. And I think those toxic brands are just going to go by the wayside because we have a more educated consumer.
Yeah. So Tinisee, I want to ask you a different question. You know, the world of looking good is lovely and fun, and unfortunately, for most people, especially in our youth, we equate value and we base our identity on looking good. So there's always this, and you know, and then you have the whole spectrum of, you know, bulimia and all of this, and then, you know, everybody's flashing themselves in selfies and making sure that they create an image. So how do you do that dance of making people look good because it's lovely and it's fun, but not doing it so that they think, okay, now I'm valuable just because I look good tonight?
Well, I think it's just making sure, like educating the woman or man on how, like educating from the inside out. I always find myself telling my clients that you're beautiful the way you are. I'm only going to adjust a few things because I don't think it's necessary to mask your beauty. And so once they're understanding of the little steps that it takes to create their look, they're confident. And I think that's what's happening now. Because now when we see these influencers on Instagram or or YouTube, like on an everyday basis, they actually don't wear that much makeup. Like when they're just like walking out and shopping, it's very natural and very like fresh. So I know that they're investing in skincare, and I think that's really where the power is in makeup. And the youth now, like the millennials, they're conscious of it, because you see all these health conscious like Instagram pages, and everyone wants to be fit. And so it's kind of helping to re-educate. I think we're going past that generation of just spackle it on. And
we're not trying to change them. We're just trying to enhance what they have, really.
And the whole idea of transparency, if you're honest about what you're wearing and you're honest about what you're buying, you find yourself being more confident about putting it on and not masking it anymore.
Yeah, right.
And that's really why I love it. But then obviously the glam part of it, like we love the glam, and I think it's an occasional thing.
Yes.
Teaching someone there's a time and a place for it,
right,
instead of just every single day.
It's not who you are. It's like changing an outfit.
Exactly. It's an accessory.
Yes, and you have to be comfortable with or without it. You really do.
Yeah. What about men's products? Are men becoming more open to using product?
Funny thing you said that. I was thinking about this the other day, just how the workforce is and how women, they know the proper techniques and how to, look good and be presentable, and men have kind of just been very lackadaisical about it, and just allowing themselves
all I have to do is show
up. Exactly. Like, my beard looks good at the 5 o'clock shadow, I look good. But now men are understanding like skincare and how to moisturize, you know, using toners, just prepping your skin so you look fresh and awake and healthy.
And taking care of this instrument.
Yes.
Exactly.
So, excuse me, Natasha, I wanted to say just as important as all of the topical treatments is your diet. You must eat properly. You must hydrate, okay? You want that radiant skin and that healthy skin from the inside out.
Don't you have a water product?
I do.
Tell
you
us
should mention
about
that. Well, we have a 100% spring water brand called Quattro H2O. It's pure spring water. We have two versions. We have the pure spring water with no additives, no garbage added to it. And we have a pure spring water, pure energy, that has natural caffeine in it. It's a caffeinated spring water, and they're both very healthy.
How does one get a caffeinated spring water?
Well, they add a coffee leaf and coffee bean to the natural spring water right there at the bottler, right at the spring. So it is triple filtered at the source, and it's all pure. It's 100% natural and very, very healthy.
So how is it different from every other bottle of so-called spring water on the market?
Okay. A lot of the so-called smart waters are actually municipal water that has been cleansed or treated, okay? And we don't want that. Also, a lot of waters have sodium, salts, all kinds of...
Naturally occurring or added?
No, they have added enhancers, they call them. They'll have like aluminum and all kinds of things in the water. Read your water labels as well, seriously, because your good health is going to come from clean water, not just any water, but clean water. And our water is right from the springs, bottled at the source, triple filtered because it's right from nature, so you might not want any leaves or anything floating around it. So it is triple filtered at the source and bottled at the source. It's not transited in like trucks or handled by multi people or whatever. It is not.
Where is the source?
It's in Pennsylvania. It's a secret.
No, okay.
No,
Who knew there was clean water in Pennsylvania?
It is thousands of acres of beautiful, beautiful mountainous Pennsylvania. Our spring is there. And it's pure. And there's so much garbage out there with regard to water, like so many additives. They call it flavor enhancers. But since when did nature need you to enhance what it has? Okay, it's not necessary. A lot of this is so that you remain thirsty and your thirst is never quenched, so you keep buying, buying, buying. Okay, but it would be foolish to keep buying the same brand that's not quenching your thirst, not giving you that satisfaction.
Right.
And I have to say, when I was introduced to the water, I didn't know anything about the difference in taste of water and how, and now I'm a little bit of a H2O snob. Yeah. So water. Every time I refill and the bottle with another, like let's say something from a fountain, I'm actually disappointed because I'm missing that crisp feeling, and
crisp is a good word.
So good, and I drink it every day. I really do.
And do you use water in any of your cosmetics?
Well, here's the thing. When you start integrating water into treatment products, you have to have a very strong preservative because water can create bacteria.
Right.
So you'll notice a lot of our products are like shea butter based, oil based, and that sort of thing, so that they can stay fresher longer. Now we do probably have a couple of let's see, I think we have a cleanser that may have water in it, okay, but it's, of course, it's a very clean
So I'm going to ask you, what's the typical shelf life?
Of our products?
Yeah, of your products, but also typically, even if we're buying the stuff that's been around.
So with regard to cosmetics and skincare, your conventional basic brands, if you will, probably have a couple of years shelf life. Okay?
Because they've got
they're
chemicals.
Packed. They're packed with preservatives and that sort of thing. But the good thing is, you may not have to have it last a few years if you have a use-up rate.
Right.
So that's great. With ours, we have our lip balms. No one will ever keep them that long, but we probably have like a 2 to 3 year shelf life because it has vitamin E and it has rosmarinic acid, rosemary extract, all these natural preservatives, and they're oil-based because they're coconut oil, mangango oil, so there's no water to create that bacteria, so we can have a longer shelf life naturally.
What product do you have that has the shortest shelf life? And how do we find this out?
Okay, so I used to have a face cream with hyaluronic acid in it, and it had like 6 to 8 week shelf life. It was a wonderful product, but I took it off of the product line because it didn't have a long shelf life because it was all natural and organic, and it did have some, it did have natural preservatives, and you could keep it for 6 months if you wanted to, and it would still be good, but the colors would change because we don't have artificial colors, we don't have maskers and stuff like that. So it was a good product, and you could use it, but it didn't look attractive after about 6 weeks. It started to turn colors. Yes, yeah, it started to, it started to change colors and that sort of thing. But typically, we're formulating products that you have a certain use-up rate, and you will use it before the shelf life expires.
Right.
A lot of our products now, because we use very strong natural preservatives, have a really good, healthy shelf life.
Okay, good. All right, so we're almost at the end of our time, and I want to give each of you a minute to say what it is that's most important for us to know about you, or about what you want people to think about, or what message you want to leave them with.
Okay. Well, I want you to know that Jersey Shore Cosmetics and our family have your best interest at heart, and we are a company that is cruelty-free, and we love to give back. We partner with different nonprofits and organizations. Everything that comes in to our company, besides trying to put the money back in and grow the company, we like to give back. We like to break off a piece and give to those in needs and that sort of thing. And that's, giving back is extremely important to us, okay, because we feel like it's not ours to begin with. God gave it to us to share. He's just letting us delegate what to do with it. So it's very important that we give back. That's very important to us. And I want to say in closing that thank God for everything. And I'm so grateful for Tinisee joining our team. He's a blessing to us.
Thank you.
Wow, a love fest. So
yes.
What message do you want to leave us with?
Well, I want to leave the message of telling people to rethink, to reprogram their thought process in cosmetics, and really educate yourself and kind of allow yourself to be a little uncomfortable, because I think once you dive into something new, you're going to appreciate it more because you've educated yourself.
Right. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So, and you know what I really get is that, we talked about, it's in line with everything that you do, choosing your products, making sure they're natural, doing no harm, no animal product. And then a natural segue to that is, I want to make a difference in the world.
Yes.
And so that's in line with it also. So I really appreciate that. And I invite people to check out the product, check out your website, contact each of you. Your names will be, at the end.
Thank you.
Yes.
Excuse me, may I say something? It's really important. This is a family business, so it may sound corny, but I want to thank my family too for helping to grow the business. I mean, my kids are really, they're important too. Ryan and Jack and Leah. I mean, everybody helped. My husband, John, all of my siblings, everything. I could just go on forever. I feel like I'm winning some award or something, but I wouldn't feel good if I didn't give them credit.
And I totally get that. All right. So we're at the end. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
And I look forward to using all the cosmetics.
Thank you so much, Natasha. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
And more to come.
Yes.
For sure.
My name is Natasha Sherman. Thank you for joining us.